Before we begin, please take a moment to listen to this gentle notice. This audio is intended for relaxation, sleep, and inner alignment. It is not a substitute for medical or psychological treatment. If you are currently driving, operating machinery, or need to remain alert, please stop listening now and return to this audio later in a safe place. If at any moment you feel uncomfortable, overwhelmed, or unsettled, you are always free to stop listening. Your well-being comes first. Now, if you are in a safe and comfortable place, you may continue. Allow yourself to settle now. Let your body find the position that feels most natural and supportive. There is nothing you need to prepare for, nothing you need to achieve. This moment does not require effort from you. The outside world can wait. For now, there is nowhere else you need to be. Your attention begins to gently turn inward. Sounds around you may still exist, but they no longer pull you outward. They pass through without meaning. The events of the day begin to loosen their grip. Thoughts, conversations, responsibilities fade naturally into the background. You do not need to follow them. Feel the surface beneath you supporting your body effortlessly. You are held. There is nothing you need to hold together. Your breathing finds its own calm rhythm, in and out, slow and natural. Each breath softens you without intention. Notice the quiet space behind your thoughts, the stillness that has always been present. You do not create the stillness. You simply become aware of it. In this space, nothing is urgent. Nothing demands your energy. Balance begins to restore itself automatically. This is the state where change happens most gently, not through force, not through control, but through allowing. Remain here now, rest in this stillness, and allow everything else to unfold in its own time. Allow yourself to arrive here now. There is nowhere else you need to be. This moment does not ask anything from you. You do not need to prepare. You do not need to perform. Let the body settle in its own way. Arms resting, legs supported, the spine finding its natural balance. Every part of you already knows how to let go. As awareness turns inward, the outer world begins to soften. Sounds lose their meaning. Time loses its urgency. You are no longer moving through the day. The day is gently releasing you. Breathing continues quietly in the background, in and out, steady, unforced. With each breath, something unnecessary loosens, something that no longer needs your attention. You do not analyze this. You simply allow it. The mind may still be active for a while. This is natural. There's no need to quiet it. You are not here to control the mind. You are here to step out of effort. As you rest, the sense of needing to think begins to fade. Thoughts lose their sharp edges. They soften, blur, and drift. You may notice a subtle shift, a feeling of distance forming between you and what was once demanding attention. This distance feels safe, comfortable, relieving. In reality transurfing, this is the moment importance begins to dissolve. Nothing needs to be solved. Nothing needs to be decided. Nothing needs to be held together. Life does not require your grip. As importance fades, the body receives a signal of safety. Muscles release on their own. The nervous system slows. You are not letting go of control. You are realizing it was never required. Awareness settles deeper now, not fading away, but becoming quieter, wider, more spacious. You are arriving fully, arriving in stillness, arriving in ease. Let yourself remain here. Nothing else needs your attention. Everything continues naturally. Now, allow awareness to move gently inward, not forward, not downward, simply inward, as if attention is turning toward a quieter place that has always been here. The body remains present, yet it no longer needs monitoring. Breathing continues on its own. The heartbeat keeps its rhythm without notice. You do not leave the body. You move through it. Awareness begins to feel less defined, less centered in any single point, more like a soft field of presence. You may notice a sense of space opening inside, a calm openness, not empty but spacious and unoccupied. This is the inner space. Here, thoughts appear differently. They are lighter, more distant, less compelling. You do not follow them, you do not resist them. They pass through this space the way sound passes through silence. In reality transurfing, this is the place beyond importance. Nothing here needs meaning. Nothing needs interpretation. Nothing needs to become anything else. The inner space does not rush. It does not compare. It does not evaluate. It simply exists. As awareness rests here, you may feel a gentle sense of relief, as if something that was always on has finally powered down. There is no pressure to stay awake, no pressure to fall asleep. Both are allowed. This space supports both rest and awareness, dreaming and stillness, letting go and drifting deeper. Images may begin to form softly, colors without edges, movements without direction. You do not engage with them. You allow them to emerge and fade. You are not entering dreams yet. You are entering the gateway, a place between waking and sleeping, between effort and surrender. Remain here now. Rest in this inner space. Everything else unfolds naturally. Now something subtle begins to change. You are still aware of thoughts, yet you are no longer inside them. They arise, move, and fade without pulling you along. There's a quiet recognition forming that thoughts are events, not instructions. You are not required to respond. This is the shift. Awareness steps back just slightly, creating space where there was once involvement. You are no longer participating in the movement of the mind. You are witnessing it. From this observer position, thinking loses its authority. Thoughts may continue to appear, but they no longer define you. They pass through awareness like reflections on water. In reality transurfing, this is the moment identity loosens. You are no longer identified with inner dialogue, inner analysis, or inner urgency. You remain present, yet untouched. The observer does not argue. The observer does not correct. The observer does not seek conclusions. It simply sees. As this shift settles, mental effort dissolves on its own. There is no need to stop thoughts. There is no need to replace them. Without resistance, their momentum fades. You may notice a gentle quiet expanding, not silence, but calm spaciousness. This space feels stable, reliable, safe. From here, the mind naturally reorganizes itself. Balance restores without instruction. Pendulums lose interest when there is no emotional charge to feed on. You remain centered, not by holding still, but by not being pulled. This is the observer and the shift, a return to clarity without effort. Remain here now. Rest as awareness itself. Nothing else requires your attention. As awareness rests more quietly now, a gentle threshold begins to appear. Not something you need to find, not something you need to enter. It simply opens. This is the dream gateway, a place where effort no longer follows awareness, where thoughts soften into impressions, where images no longer need meaning. You are not crossing into sleep. Sleep is approaching you. The mind begins to speak a different language here, not words, not logic, but movement, color, feeling. You may notice scenes forming softly, shapes without edges, moments without time. They come and go freely. You do not hold them, you do not follow them. They arise naturally when the observer no longer interferes. In reality transurfing, this is where resistance is absent. And without resistance, the inner world organizes itself. Dreams do not need direction. They unfold when allowed. Awareness becomes lighter now, less defined, almost transparent. You are still present, yet no longer focused. This gateway does not separate waking and dreaming. It blends them. You may feel as if you are drifting, floating, or gently moving without destination. This is not imagination. This is the mind releasing control. From here, dreams can be vivid or quiet, symbolic or restful. Your deeper mind chooses. You trust this process because there is nothing to manage. The gateway remains open as long as you do not rush through it. And there is no reason to rush. Remain here for a while, balanced between worlds, between awareness and rest. Sleep will arrive naturally when it is ready. As awareness continues to soften, a natural sense of movement appears. Not movement created by effort, but movement that carries you. This is flow. Flow does not ask you to decide. It does not ask you to control direction. It simply moves where resistance is absent. In reality transurfing, this movement is known as the wave of fortune. It is always present. It does not need to be summoned. It responds only to inner balance. When you stop interfering, the wave naturally lifts you. You do not swim. You do not steer. You allow yourself to be carried. There is a feeling here of being supported by life itself, as if events no longer push against you, but gently align beneath you. This wave does not rush. It does not pull. It moves steadily, quietly, reliably. You may notice a subtle trust forming, not excitement, not expectation, just ease. From this state, things fall into place without effort. Timing becomes natural. Opportunities arrive calmly. Solutions emerge without pressure. You are not attracting, you are aligning. The wave recognizes neutrality. It supports those who do not cling. Here, nothing needs to be forced into existence. Nothing needs to be avoided. Life adjusts itself around your calm. As you rest within this flow, your deeper mind learns this rhythm, a rhythm of allowing, of responding rather than pushing, of moving when movement happens. This understanding does not remain conscious. It settles deeper into the subconscious, into the body, into the nervous system. The wave of fortune continues to move whether you are awake or asleep. You do not need to watch it. You are already carried. Remain here now, floating within this quiet movement. Everything unfolds at exactly the right pace. There is nothing more to attend to now. Nothing that needs understanding. Nothing that needs remembering. Everything that mattered has already been released. Awareness begins to thin, not disappearing, but becoming lighter, like mist slowly dissolving into night air. The body no longer feels separate from rest. It sinks naturally into support, completely held, completely safe. Breathing continues quietly on its own, steady, unnoticed. You are no longer following it. It simply happens. Thoughts no longer form clearly. They arrive as fragments, then soften, then dissolve before completing themselves. There is no need to finish anything. The mind releases its need to stay active. It recognizes that nothing is required. Time no longer has shape here. Moments blend together. There is no before or after, only drifting. Awareness loosens its edges, becoming wider and quieter and more distant. You are not falling asleep. Sleep is gently arriving. The wave continues to carry you even as awareness fades. Nothing stops when you rest. Nothing is lost. Everything that has been set in motion continues naturally without attention. You may still hear sounds or sense impressions, but they no longer create meaning. They pass like echoes. Rest deepens on its own, without instruction, without effort. You are free to let go completely now. There is nothing to return to, nothing to hold on to. Sleep unfolds in its own time, and you move effortlessly with it. Remain here or drift further, as rest becomes all that remains. My voice will now slowly fade into the background. There is no need to follow it any further. Everything you needed has already been received. Nothing more is required. You may continue resting, sleeping, or dreaming in whatever way feels most natural to you. The calm you have entered does not end when the words do. It remains quietly present, carrying itself forward without effort. Your deeper mind continues to integrate what has been gently set in motion. There is no need to supervise this process. It unfolds on its own. If you awaken later, you may notice a sense of clarity, lightness, or ease. If you remain asleep, rest deepens naturally. Either way, balance has been restored. Everything continues to move at the right pace, in the right direction, without force. Thank yourself for allowing this moment of rest, for stepping out of effort, for choosing ease. There is nothing more to do now. Sleep well, rest deeply, and allow everything else to take care of itself.